Imagine waking up early in the morning before the day fully begins. The house is quiet, the air feels still, and the first thing on your mind isn't breakfast or coffee. Instead, you reach for the small device sitting on your kitchen counter, your glucose monitor, a small finger prick, a drop of blood placed carefully on the strip, and then a few seconds of waiting while the device calculates the result. Then the number appears and it's higher than you expected. Maybe you were careful with dinner the night before. Maybe you avoided sugary foods and tried to make healthy choices throughout the day. Yet somehow the number staring back at you doesn't reflect that effort. Many people immediately begin asking themselves questions. Why is my blood sugar elevated even before I've eaten anything? What is happening inside my body overnight? And most importantly, is there anything I can do to help stabilize these numbers naturally while still following my doctor's guidance? The truth is that blood sugar regulation involves far more than simply avoiding sugar. Your body's glucose levels are influenced by several systems working together. Hormones released during sleep, liver activity that produces glucose during the night, how sensitive your cells are to insulin, and even the health of your blood vessels can all influence the number you see on that screen in the morning. Sometimes the body doesn't just need fewer carbohydrates or stricter diets. Sometimes it needs support for the systems responsible for using glucose properly. And interestingly enough, some of that support may come from certain oils that many people already have sitting quietly in their kitchens. If you find this helpful, please like this video and subscribe so more people managing blood sugar can find this information. My name is Dr. Michael Kent, and much of my work focuses on understanding how everyday nutrition influences metabolic health. Conditions like insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease are deeply connected to the way our bodies process nutrients, regulate hormones, and maintain the health of our blood vessels. Over the years, one thing has become increasingly clear. Small nutritional factors, when used consistently, can sometimes influence metabolic systems in surprisingly meaningful ways. Not because they act like medications, but because they support the natural biological processes already taking place inside the body. In this video, we're going to explore 3 oils that research suggests may support blood sugar balance and arterial health. These are oils that many people already use in cooking or have seen in grocery stores countless times. The natural compounds they contain, including healthy fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant-derived molecules, interact with metabolic pathways involved in glucose regulation and cardiovascular function. Before we begin, I want to be very clear about something important. Oils, spices, herbs, and nutritional strategies should never replace the guidance of your physician or the treatment plan designed for you. Conditions such as diabetes, insulin resistance, and cardiovascular disease are complex metabolic disorders that require careful medical supervision. What we're discussing today are supportive nutritional tools that may complement the systems already working inside your body, not replacements for medical care. When people understand this bigger picture, they are less likely to search for quick fixes and more likely to focus on sustainable habits that support their body over time. To understand why certain oils may support blood sugar balance, it helps to first understand what happens inside the body when glucose regulation begins to struggle. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream and your pancreas releases insulin in response. Insulin signals cells throughout your body to absorb that glucose so it can be used for energy. When this system works efficiently, blood sugar rises slightly after a meal and gradually returns to a healthy range. However, when insulin resistance develops, cells become less responsive to insulin signals. Glucose remains circulating in the bloodstream longer than it should, forcing the pancreas to release more insulin to compensate. At the same time, elevated glucose levels begin damaging the delicate lining of blood vessels known as the endothelium. When the endothelium becomes inflamed or damaged, arteries can gradually lose their flexibility and become more vulnerable to plaque buildup. This is where certain dietary oils begin to play an important role. Before we move on, if you feel comfortable sharing, take a moment to write your first name and your age in the comments below. It helps build a sense of community and reminds everyone watching that they are not navigating these health questions alone. Now let's begin with the first oil, and it's one that many people already have in their kitchens: extra virgin olive oil. For thousands of years, olive oil has been a central part of traditional Mediterranean diets, used as a primary source of dietary fat in salads, vegetables, grains, and everyday meals. Researchers noticed that populations consuming olive oil regularly often showed lower rates of cardiovascular disease and better metabolic health compared to regions relying more heavily on processed fats. One of the key factors is the type of fat it contains. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, particularly a compound called oleic acid. Unlike certain processed fats that promote inflammation, monounsaturated fats support healthier cholesterol balance and reduce inflammatory stress in the body. Oleic acid also appears to influence insulin sensitivity. When cells respond more effectively to insulin signals, glucose can move from the bloodstream into cells more efficiently, helping to stabilize blood sugar levels. High-quality extra virgin olive oil also contains plant compounds known as polyphenols. These function as antioxidants, helping protect cells and blood vessels from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress contributes to damage of the arterial lining, which can eventually lead to reduced vascular flexibility and plaque formation. Polyphenols in olive oil may help reduce that damage by neutralizing free radicals and lowering inflammatory signals inside blood vessels. Additionally, when olive oil is consumed alongside meals containing carbohydrates, it may help slow digestion slightly, contributing to a more gradual rise in blood sugar after eating rather than a sharp spike. The mechanisms behind these effects focus on three areas. First, insulin sensitivity. The healthy fats in olive oil help maintain healthier cell membrane structure. When these membranes remain flexible, insulin receptors function more efficiently, allowing glucose to enter cells more effectively. Second, glucose absorption. Slower digestion means glucose enters the bloodstream more gradually, reducing the sharp fluctuations that place long-term stress on the pancreas. Third, arterial protection. Antioxidant compounds including polyphenols and hydroxytyrosol help protect endothelial cells from oxidative stress and inflammation, contributing to improved circulation and reduced cardiovascular strain. In terms of daily use, 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day fits easily within a balanced diet. Use it as a dressing over salads and vegetables, drizzle it over cooked dishes, or add it to legumes and whole grains. Always choose high-quality extra virgin olive oil to ensure the beneficial compounds remain intact. Now let's move to the second oil. This one has been used for centuries in traditional health practices and has recently gained significant attention from modern researchers. The oil I'm referring to is black seed oil, extracted from the seeds of a plant known as Nigella sativa. In many traditional cultures across the Middle East, Asia, and parts of Africa, these seeds have been used for generations in cooking and herbal preparations, valued for their ability to support digestion, immunity, and overall vitality. What has captured the attention of modern scientists is a compound found within black seed oil called thymoquinone. Thymoquinone is considered the primary active component of the oil. Researchers have studied it because of its strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, both of which are especially relevant when discussing metabolic conditions like insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. Chronic inflammation plays a major role in metabolic dysfunction. When inflammatory signals remain elevated inside the body, insulin receptors become less responsive, causing blood sugar levels to remain higher for longer periods. Thymoquinone appears to help regulate certain inflammatory pathways, which may support healthier insulin signaling. Black seed oil may also influence how the liver manages glucose production overnight. In some individuals with insulin resistance, the liver releases too much glucose during sleep, leading to higher fasting blood sugar in the morning. Some studies suggest compounds in black seed oil may help regulate this process, contributing to more balanced glucose levels over time. Beyond thymoquinone, black seed oil contains other beneficial compounds including nigellone, thymol, and several polyphenols that contribute additional antioxidant protection and support enzyme systems involved in glucose metabolism. It also contains healthy fatty acids such as linoleic acid and oleic acid, which help maintain cell membrane flexibility and allow insulin receptors to function more efficiently. Small amounts of zinc are also present, a mineral involved in many enzymatic reactions related to glucose metabolism. Incorporating black seed oil into your routine is simple. Because it is quite concentrated, only a small amount is needed. Many people take half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon per day. The oil has a slightly peppery flavor, so mixing it with a small amount of honey or warm water can make it more pleasant. It can also be drizzled lightly over salads, mixed into yogurt, or added to smoothies. Because it contains delicate plant compounds, avoid cooking it at high temperatures. Use it as a finishing oil added after food has been prepared to preserve its natural properties. If you take medications that influence blood sugar, monitor your glucose levels when introducing black seed oil into your diet, as it may support insulin sensitivity. Now let's move to the third oil. This one is particularly well known for its connection to heart health and metabolic balance. The oil I'm referring to is flaxseed oil, extracted from the seeds of the flax plant, a crop cultivated for thousands of years. Flaxseed oil is especially interesting in modern nutritional science because it is one of the richest plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, often abbreviated as ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3 fats are widely recognized for supporting cardiovascular health, but they also play an important role in metabolic regulation and inflammation control. Chronic inflammation contributes to insulin resistance and vascular damage. When inflammatory signals remain elevated for long periods, cells become less responsive to insulin and blood vessels gradually lose their flexibility. Omega-3 fatty acids like ALA help regulate these inflammatory pathways, supporting healthier insulin signaling and improving how cells respond when instructed to absorb glucose. Flaxseed oil also contributes to healthier cholesterol balance. Elevated LDL cholesterol can contribute to plaque buildup in arteries, and omega-3 fatty acids have been shown in many studies to support reductions in triglycerides and promote healthier lipid profiles. Additionally, the omega-3 fats in flaxseed oil become part of cell membrane structure, keeping those membranes flexible and functional. This flexibility allows insulin receptors to communicate more effectively with cells, helping glucose move out of the bloodstream and into tissues where it can be used for energy. Because flaxseed oil is sensitive to heat, it is not recommended for frying or high-heat cooking. Instead, add a teaspoon or two to salads, blend it into smoothies with berries and yogurt, or drizzle it over warm foods after cooking. Store it in a dark bottle in the refrigerator to protect its delicate fatty acids from light and heat. About 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon per day provides meaningful nutritional value without excessive calories. Today, we've explored 3 oils that may provide meaningful support for people managing blood sugar while protecting arterial and cardiovascular health. Extra virgin olive oil supports insulin sensitivity, slows glucose absorption, and protects blood vessel walls through its rich content of oleic acid and polyphenols. Black seed oil, with its primary compound thymoquinone, helps reduce metabolic inflammation, supports healthier insulin signaling, and may contribute to more balanced fasting glucose levels. Flaxseed oil delivers omega-3 fatty acids that regulate inflammatory pathways, improve arterial flexibility, and support healthier cholesterol balance. Each of these oils works through slightly different biological mechanisms, yet they share an important similarity. They contain natural compounds that support the metabolic pathways related to insulin sensitivity, inflammation control, and vascular protection. They are not cures for diabetes or cardiovascular disease and cannot replace medical treatment or the guidance of your healthcare professionals. Instead, think of them as supportive nutritional tools that work best when combined with balanced meals, regular movement, proper sleep, and appropriate medical care. If you found this discussion helpful, please share it with someone who may also be managing blood sugar or cardiovascular concerns. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos on evidence-based approaches to metabolic health. And if you watched all the way to the end, type the word "clear" in the comments below. I'm Dr. Michael Kent. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next discussion.